Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, for your Wednesday, it's going to be Clem versus Zest. Here on Romanticide, the latter edition. Top left-hand corner, it is the blue Terran player Clem, and in the bottom right, it is the red Protoss player Zest. Now, Zest is playing extraordinarily well. Clem is also playing extraordinarily well. So this is going to be an excellent PvT here on Romanticide. A very romantic place to have your StarCraft 2 battle. I don't know, I just like the colors here, right? So it's just a lot of pink. We've got some blue here with mist drifting up. I don't know, I just like this tile set and I like how the map creator used his colors. This little SCV, are you going to do a proxy? I think you're doing a proxy here, Clem. The French Terran player. What you got for us, man? What's the plan? You're gonna proxy, or why do you take a different route if he's just wandering in? Okay, NG Bay block. Sure, I guess he maybe hit his route on the way over here just because he didn't want the probe to see him coming this early and be like, oh, that's probably an NG Bay block, and then try to get something there ready for him to go, right? Oh, this is so annoying. If you don't get on this, there's a ton of HP on the engineering bay. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of health on that engineering bay. It's going to take a while to drill it down. Even with your zealot. No, this is brutal. This is delaying the expansion a ton for Zest. Going 1-1-1 it looks like here for Clem. I'm going to assume it's going to be a barracks, a factory, a starport opening. Nothing too crazy about that. He actually got the SCV in for some additional HP. Clem, you madman. I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway, welcome to a 1440p cast with Falcon Paladin. Again, I hope you're enjoying it. Was able to finally get a card and a monitor that handled 1440p. So, if anybody else is casting in 1440p, I'd like to know about it. Let me know in the comments, right? Is Loco doing 1440p? How about Hearthstone? How about, you know, any of the other more popular guys out there that are way more popular than I am? Is Wardy in 1440p? Yeah, there's that delay. I mean, it's not like Clem went for a quick 1-Rax expand at all. No. So we're pretty much even right here, right? It's Gateway, Cybercore, into an expansion, and then it's Barracks, Factory, into expansion. On the other side, expansion up, Adept's moving across the map. Zealot, actually, you know what? Coming home. And he is doing a proxy starport. Clem, he's doing a proxy and an NG Bay block. I love this. This is great stuff. Stargate also on the way from the Protoss player. Do we think Oracle? Oracle, a little bit dicey these days against Terrans. They'll usually put a Widowmine somewhere to one-shot your Oracle if you try to get it in here. Or, you know, maybe they'll have a Cyclone to completely shut down your Oracle. Or just, you know, maybe make a Phoenix. Phoenix is fine too. Could be a lot of Phoenix as well. It could be 4 to 5 Phoenix running around, picking up SCVs, killing them. Taking down Medivacs, doing all sorts of annoying stuff, picking up Widow Mines in case it's a Widow Mine drop out of the young Terran player. It doesn't seem to be at the moment, though. Yeah, it's going to be Bio as we swap the reactor. Yep, Marine production here, and the factory is going to make a Cyclone, would be my guess. And then making... Oh, he's just flying the starport home after he made the Medivac. Cool. All right, so this does make it a little bit faster to get across the map. This timing... going to be a bit quicker than Zest will be expecting it. Hellions wander in, but there's nothing to kill here, so like, Yeah, I don't know, honestly, why he expected there to be probes saturating that natural already. Oh, you're in trouble. You're in trouble now, Clem. Alright, so the Hellions are resigned to the fact they just need to get damage done here. They're going to get lifted and killed, and there's no escape for them because the Medivac can't get out if you're alive. And there's a shield battery overcharged, so 5 probes down is honestly probably more than you deserve. And that's another dead Hellion. And another dead Hellion. And another dead Hellion. So, I don't know. That's not great. That is not a great trade, man. We're looking at... Maybe it's just... There you go. Didn't have to use the energy on the Phoenix to do that. 600 to 200 resources lost. Clem! Problematic, my friend. This is really a big deal. Zest, again, looking so scary. It is a Cyclone, by the way. Another Cyclone here, too. Again, pretty darn good against Phoenix, it turns out. Marine Cyclone, one of the greater compositions against Phoenix, if you're into that sort of thing. I'm not sure how good the Adepts are going to do here either, but Yeah, finishing that shade would not have been great, I don't think. Not in the middle of all those Marines, not in the middle of those Cyclones. Cyclones don't do bonus damage to Adepts, but they hurt them nevertheless. He's going to come in, just very carefully picking around the edges here. Phoenix getting inside the main base, killing 4 SCVs while the Adepts were just poking at the front, and the Adepts get home and the Phoenix get out of there. So far, so good, I would say, out of Clem and out of Zest. Both players have gotten, you know, some work done. 5 probes have died, 4 SCVs have died. Obviously, the entire attacking force of Clem went down. You'd prefer that didn't happen, but he's not hopelessly behind at the stage either. So he'll be all right. Back home, additional gateways from Zest. No sign of a third base from the Protoss player yet. I think in the next couple minutes we should see one based on the opening here that Zest is going for. I don't really see any sign of a giant 2-base push. And yeah, this probe, I guess checking for proxies, checking is there an attacking army this way? Or maybe just scout. This is weird. Oh, maybe just throwing up a pylon. There we go, yeah. Throwing up a pylon so we can see attacks coming from that direction before they arrive. Very good. Very, very smart stuff. Robotics Bay coming in here from Zest, but a little bit late. He's not going to have any splash damage for this attack. It's going to be Adept and a Sentry and a Stalker with some Phoenix. This is honestly a little bit scary for the Protoss. Pulling some of the boys here. It's a handful of SCVs, not all of them. It's actually a lot of SCVs. All right, force fields up, keeping a lot of the Marines out of the engagement entirely. Nice snipe on that Viking, too. Well done. Air superiority definitely belonging here to the Protoss, without a question. Tank wants to wander up a little bit closer to actually seat up on these buildings. Can he hit that pylon? Certainly can hit that pylon. This is good. Oh, and he's throwing up the bunkers, too. Zest is trying to get out of here. He's trying to focus down the Cyclones. Pretty good micro. The tank is the first thing to fall, though. It's exactly what you want to get if you are Zest here. Also, focusing down the bunkers would be fantastic. At least the SCV's building the bunkers to the very least. And yeah, that bunker's down. One bunker will finish. But with the presence of this many Stalkers, I mean, sure, he'll get some damage out of it, but... Oh, nice disruption hit there, too. It looks like Zest should just barely be able to shove this off his front porch. Tank down up at the north. Well, the top side of this engagement, and yes, very well done. That Immortal's got 9 kills, because Immortals are such good units. In every matchup, really. The Immortal is such a good unit. It used to be better, but it's still in a pretty good spot, as it is. Colossus on the way with extended thermal lands from Zest. On the other side, a third base being constructed by Clem. Going to land it on the low ground there outside of his main. Clem not interested in giving up. He's going to continue pushing here. These Adepts do not want to finish that shade whatsoever. Definitely not. But, you know, for scouting purposes, they're not bad either. Boom, 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 boom. Zest's third base is almost done. Clem's going to land his about the same time that the Nexus warps in, so that's going to be great. Income favoring Clem a bit here, even though they have pretty much identical worker counts just because mules are that good. And actually Clem deciding to head home. That's interesting. Do you think Zest can cover both these areas at the same time? And again, the Colossus are great here against this really Marine-heavy composition out of Clem. Third base, a Landon. All right, so silence has settled over the field after a bit of a brief engagement over here on Zest's side of the map. Zest is just making more gateways, man. Triple pumping probes, trying to get that economy up to where he wants it to be, a monster economy of, you know, 60 to 70 workers, maybe 75 if you're feeling extra macro-y and want to get a fourth base up pretty quick. But nice hallucinated Phoenix Scout here. This is just absolutely gorgeous. This is exactly what you want to do. You want to see what's going on. Oh, it's a lot of tanks and a lot of Marines with some Viking support. This is almost like a TVT composition that Clem is rolling with here, but I kind of like it. If you have enough tanks, then your Colossus are going to be moderately useless. Like, tanks outrange them, they hit them really hard. And if you're just trying to stand in there with Colossus and fire on an army that showed up and there's 3 or 4 or 5 tanks hitting you, you're going to have a bad time. Additional Colossus are on the way. 3 base to 3 base is pretty darn even. Probe, again, I guess just scouting purposes, does catch the move out here by Clem. So, army coming up to meet it. So if you want to come up this ramp, by all means, go ahead. Or maybe just catch him in this choke. That would not be bad either. It's not a lot of Vikings. They're not going to be a big threat to the Colossus. The siege tanks, there we go. The siege tanks are the problem. Sieging up, and that's a retreating Protoss army. For sure. The retreatingest of Protoss armies there. Yeah, I love that position for the tanks. Look, they're firing. Oh, nice target firing, though. Actually taking both the tanks out with that splash damage the Colossus are very capable of. More tank fire here from the low ground. We've got a bunch of Zealots maybe trying to go for a counterattack. Reinforcements from Clem coming in as well. More Zealots hoofing it across the map here. When they have that speed upgrade, they are zippy. They can be used for this. Protoss, if you're not sending Zealot counterattacks across the map against your Terran opponents, what are you doing with your life? What is it? Tell me in the comments. No, but for real, do it. Scouting Pylon gets taken out by these medevacs, but they were scouted. So, you gonna warp in some stuff here? Or, man, Zealots just jumping on top of this stuff. Couple going for that mineral line at the 3rd base. Couple going after Marauder. It's like 2 Colossus respond to this, while Clem marches up the ramp a little bit and then gets shoved back by the responding units. And one of the Colossus here is going to die. The Marauders in this group are a little bit more, I think, than Zest was planning on. Did he just completely shut down? He completely shut down the mining up here for Clem. Holy smokes. 13 SCVs went completely missing there. And by that, I mean they died. 64 to 52 workers in favor of the Protoss. Income hugely favoring Zest at this point in the game. We're 12 minutes into it. This is where it starts getting pretty hot and heavy, where we're going to see a lot of drops out of Clem. We're going to see some engagements. Zest cannot keep playing defense, I don't think. He needs to move out. He's not really put any pressure on Clem today. I guess other than the Zealot run by, which I don't think was intended to do that much damage, but it did. Clem wasn't quite prepared for it. Didn't have just enough stuff back home. And the supply depot walls weren't really all that much help either. More Immortals in production, getting further upgrades. We are working at 1-1 for Clem. He doesn't have 2-2 on the way, which I think is a mistake. Zest getting a 4th base. Is there a 4th CC here for Clem, building at a safe location, and then he'll move it, what do you think, here? Traditional 4th base location. Place your bets now. I don't think it's going to be here. He does already have a supply depot that way. Where are you going, man? You're going to upgrade to an orbital before you move, probably. No, actually moving out. And perfect. All right, so low ground it is. Checking to see if there's any army down here to deal with. There is a pylon with a probe you can kill, so that's nice. Ah, the concussive shell. No running for you, Probaruni. Zealots taking out the scouting supply depot. It's not a good game to be a scouting supply depot or a scouting pylon, but this is our engagement. Guardian shield up. Archons don't quite like the concave. Zest backing out. Zealots again getting into this 3rd base. Bunch of Marines ready for him this time, though. So maybe only 1 SCV went down. It wasn't enough to trigger the game heart interface thingy right here. So that's nice. That's actually excellent. Muy excelente. Both players on 4 bases. Clem maxed out. Zest working on it. I almost would love to see Storm here. I do. Look, Colossus are good. But I really think what makes the Terran hate their lives is Storm. That said, it's 26 Marauders, so Colossus against Marauders and also Storm against Marauders, it's not particularly good. Like, Mass Marauder is surprisingly hard for a Protoss to take out. It's just then you would just make like Void Rays and win is the thing. That's why Mass Marauder isn't a viable thing. But, man, that's a lot of Zealots. Your Marines can't handle it this time, friendo. Look, and then the army responds, and then maybe you push up a little bit on this 4th? I mean, there's a billion tanks there, so that's a problem. Zealots, look how fast they are. They are faster than Marines with stim. I know I say that a lot, but as soon as I learned that fact, it was burned into my brain, and it's like, dang, Zealots are faster than Marines with stim. That have been stimmed. That's crazy. Dark Shrine coming in from Zest. Working on Disruptors. Yes, I like Disruptors too, just maybe as a zoning tool. that can zone out the Terran army, force them to retreat, force them to split. You can't really attack into disruptors very easily. If you can, you probably won the game. If you're at a position where you can jump on top of a disruptor and kill it without losing your whole army, then you had a bigger army, and you're probably going to win that thing anyway. So it's never a bad idea to make disruptors. 5th base warping in now from Zest, just to the north of his natural. And yeah, 5th command center already done. Let's see. Oh, the jukes by Clem. The jukes. And then now we have a wall. See, now we have a bunker up. It's dead, but that slowed it down. And like, yeah, it's the surprise, right? It's the surprise and speed factor. Ooh, okay. Vikings, a little bit problematic there. A couple of them go down for free. Now Zest is keeping Clem on the back foot. Love this. Love this from him. Income slightly favoring Zest. Resources lost, 9,900 for Clem, 7,800 for Zest. Enhanced Shockwave on the way from the Terran player. Always love that stuff. Increasing the range of that EMP is a beautiful thing. And Purification Nova, as particular, really good against stationary targets like siege tanks. Or, you know, burrowed lurkers. Or, those are the only stationary ground units that exist? I mean, buildings, obviously, because they can't run away, but as far as units are concerned, I think that might be it. Lurkers and siege tanks when they're in siege mode. I mean, both of them can move, obviously, but... Alright, Marines running into this southern base for Zest. There's a couple cannons, but not really in position to defend perfectly. 4 probes go down. Medevac going to continue on into Protoss territory. Sharking down to the left side while an attack comes up at the north side, and Clem's done a pretty good job, I think, of splitting up his units to the point that he's not really unprepared at any particular location, although the main base is bereft of defenders at the moment. Is he really warping in 1 Dark Templar to handle this? You know what? He's going to one-shot these Marines, so sure. Wait, come back. There's more. There you go. All right, cool. Zest getting pushed back from an attack down here to the southern section of the map. He's kind of getting pushed on his base here, too. So, nice hit on the siege tank. Doesn't one-shot them, but will two-shot them easily. Makes them a lot squishier for Zealot jump-ons, too. And this is just Nova's moving out for scouting purposes. And if there's stuff to kill, by all means, let's do it. He EMP'd that disruptor and tried to kill it, but it did manage to pull back and get healed up by a shield battery. Oh, free medevac, though. A little bit lazy, and both players maxed out. All right, this is just some abject chaos right here. Jumping on top of the tanks. The Vikings are going after the Colossus. Are there enough Vikings? It sure seems like it, because there's not much that can shoot up here from Zest's army. Yeah, the entire Protoss army just gets completely obliterated there. There's not a ton left here for Clem, but that was not a good engagement for Zest. Zealots on the attack, moving on in. They're all going to die, but again, they're going to take their pound of flesh as well, taking out a ton of Terran units. It is 143 to 89 total supply, though. Huge advantage for Clem right now. Warping in a ton of Stalkers to try to handle this. Nice blink attack on that tank, and then getting out. That was great. Shield battery overcharge is up. Can Clem get through the shield battery overcharge damage? He's got 2 Marines and Marauders with Stim and with Medevacs, who are actually pretty low on energy right now, so that's not ideal. Zealots coming into the defense of the 6th base. And that's going to actually be enough to make Clem back out here, so excellent job. Didn't lose the Nexus, which is great. Is there any room in these medevacs for us? Yes, there's so much room. Why did anybody have to die there? Pick everyone up. Come on. Come on, Clem. That said, expanding down this way is Clem. Expanding maybe this way is Clem. I don't know. Clem has an upper hand. It's a bit of one. It's not a massive one, but it's big. Yeah, I think this base might just have to be abandoned. I'd love to see 3-3 out of Clem, but apparently we're not doing that today. Not quite enough focused DPS on that Nexus to take it down. Too much Protoss showing up. Archons showing up. Splash damage versus bio is super sick for Archons. Their range is only 3. And it's hard for them to creep up on. Yeah, to creep up on these units. Disruptor down, Disruptor down. Disruptor down. I worry this might just be GG for Zest. He's down 123. Yep, that's it. GG. Lost all those Disruptors. Lost all those Archons. This base was going down. He didn't have anywhere else to go with his economy. And Clem jumps out on top here, winning the match like the absolute boss that he is. Nicely done. Beautifully done here by Clem. That was a great game. I think that was an excellent PVT. A lot of action back and forth. Income up and down and up and down and up and down, favoring Clem at the end of the game just because, again, he just had more bases. I mean, again, assuming the southern base was toast. 14 probes died, 22 SCVs went down, 14 Vikings died. Where's my Colossus? All 3 Colossus died. 13 Disruptors died. That's way more Disruptors than I thought there were on the map here today. So they were out 11 Archons. It's too much. And again, I just feel like Storm is better. Terran players, let me know. Do you rather play against Colossus or play against Storm? That's always the question. I still feel like it's Storm. I think I hate playing Storm. Anyway. A really, really fantastically well done. That was excellent job by the young Clem. Again, Zest is killing it recently. So for Clem to take him down was dead impressive. Resources lost. Zest ends up losing more than Clem did after Clem has had more resources lost for most of the game. I think that flipped during that final battle, if I had to guess. But yeah, just great splits by Clem. Didn't take any serious disruptor hits, I don't think. Just kept the pressure up, kept the macro up, didn't let the Zealot counterattacks really mess with him too much. And then once those disruptors were dead, great target firing. That was it, man. Sissa. All right, well, that right there is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood Roar. Ooh, StarCraft 2. Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.